In this lesson, we're going to add in the collision between the turtle and the hook, and we're going to make the player lose whenever he touches the turtle. Now the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a game over sprite that's going to display whenever the player touches the turtle and loses. Now what we're going to do is we're going to design this sprite ourselves using Scratch's sprite painter or paint editor. So where it says new sprite, click on the paintbrush icon, which is the paint new sprite button. Then at the bottom of the screen, click on convert to vector. Okay. Now make sure you are in vector mode. The way you can make sure is at the bottom here, it will say vector mode, and all the controls or the buttons and tools will be on the right hand side of the screen. Now click on add at the top of the screen to open up Scratch's sprite library. Then in the categories section, click on letters. Now we will use these letters to spell out our message, which in this case is going to say game over. So click on the G and click on OK. Now in your tools section, click on the select tool, which is the arrow right on the top. Now because we are in vector mode, we can click on the assets that we add in and we can move them around as we wish. This is very important if we want to properly align our letters. Now click on add again, go to letters and get the next letter, which is A. And select A and position it next to the G. Then click on add again, go to letters, click on M and click on OK, and position it next to the A. Okay. And we're going to repeat this process till we have our message spelled out. A shortcut of adding a sprite in is to simply just double click it instead of clicking it and then clicking OK. Add, we're going to go to letters, and now we're going to start with our second word, which is over. So find the letter that you want and double click it to add it in instantly. The word over will spell out underneath the word game. So we're going to position the letters below the first word. I'm going to go to letters and we're going to get V. Add letters, we're going to get the letter E, and finally we're going to go and get the letter R. Okay, so we have our message spelled out. Now before we start adding any code to this piece, we're going to quickly set the center of our sprite. So click on the Set Costume Center and position it towards the center of your sprite. Okay, that looks perfect. Now we can click on the Scripts icon or the Scripts tab and continue with our coding. Now the first code we're going to add is actually going to be in the turtle because we want the turtle to react to whenever the hook touches him. So let's add in that code. We're going to go to Events, and we're going to add in a When Green Flag Clicked piece. Then we're going to go to Control and add in a Forever piece. And inside that, we're going to place an If piece. Then in the diamond shape of the if, we're going to go to Sensing and add in the first piece, touching mouse pointer. But instead of mouse pointer, we're going to change it to read hook. Now whatever code we place inside the if piece will run whenever the turtle touches the hook. Now there's a few things that we want to happen. First, we want the turtle to stop moving and stop switching costumes. So to do that, we're going to go to the Control tab, and we're going to grab the Stop All piece. Drag it and place it inside your if. But click on the little black arrow next to the word All to bring down this drop-down menu and select Other Scripts in Sprite. Now what this will do is it will stop all the scripts in the turtle sprite except for this one. Notice that the piece changed shape as well. Now the next thing we want the turtle to do is switch to his angry costume, which is the turtle-03 costume. So go to the looks, click on switch costume to, and place it underneath your stop piece. And then click on the drop down menu and make sure that turtle-03 is selected. And the final thing we want the turtle to do is broadcast a message that he has been hit. All the other sprites in the game will then hear that broadcast message, and then we can add code to make them handle that message differently. So we're going to go to Events, and the last piece, Broadcast Message and Wait. We're going to add this piece underneath our Switch Costume 2 piece. But instead of message 1, we're going to create our own message. So click on the drop-down menu, click on New Message, and in this pop-up box that pops up, type in game, if I can spell correctly, game over. Just like that, and click on OK. So now whenever the turtle gets hit by the hook, he'll broadcast this message, game over. Now let's go to our game over sprite, and we're going to make it handle this message. But before we do that, let's just quickly change the name of our sprite. So click on the little information button, delete the text sprite 1, and in place of it, type in game over again. And then click on the blue back button. Okay, now that looks a lot better. Now let's add in the code for our game over sprite. So add in a when green flag click piece. Then go to looks and add in the hide piece. Because when the game starts, we want this game over sprite to be hidden. We don't want it to display all the time. Then go back to the events tab, and this time we're going to add a when I receive game over piece. Now this piece works very similarly to the when green flag clicked piece, but instead of triggering when the game starts, it will only trigger when the game over message is broadcasted by the turtle. Now there are a few things that we want to happen when that broadcast message is made. Firstly, we're going to go to looks and add in a go to front piece. This will just make sure that the game over sprite is in front of all of the other sprites. Then we want the game over sprite to go to the center of the screen. So go to motion and add in a go to X and Y piece. And simply change the values both to read 0 and 0. This will position the game over sprite at the center of the screen. Now when the game over message is broadcasted, we want a simple animation to play with the game over sprite. We want it to start off small and then grow to its full size instead of just simply appearing. So what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that when the message is broadcasted, that the game over sprite shrinks down to a fraction of its size. So go to the looks tab and add in the piece that says set size to 100%. Click it and drag it in, and then change 100% to now read 10%. And finally, we want the sprite to show, because remember, when the game starts, it's going to hide. So add in the show piece from the looks tab. Now this will position and resize our game over sprite correctly and then make it appear. Now let's add in the code that's going to make it grow to its full size. So go to the control tab and add in a repeat 10 piece. Change the number 10 to now be number 9. Now whatever code we place inside here will run 9 times. And that code is going to be, we're going to go to the looks tab and it's going to be change size by 10. So add that in. Then we're going to go back to the control tab and add in a wait piece. But instead of 1 second, we're going to make it 0.001 or 0.01 instead. This will just add in a delay between each time the sprite changes its size. So instead of just quickly expanding, it's going to have a bit of a delay to it, so it'll be a more gradual. Now let's test this. We're going to start the game and then grab the turtle. Okay, that looks perfect. Now all we need to do is make sure that the game ends whenever the player touches the turtle. So we're just going to add in a stop all piece. Now this will end the game whenever the player touches the turtle. Let's do one final test. Awesome.